and welcome back to my channel. We're back with another video. Today we are doing another part to my 1K subscriber special videos. I did a bunch of reactions that were specially requested in the first part. I can link that video up here if you have not seen it yet. It is the longest video I've ever made, but it was a great time. Today we are here for the part 2, which is the Q&A. So when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I sent out a Google form, had people submit videos, and one of the things on the Google form was questions for me for a Q&A. So that is what we're going to do today. We're going to answer questions. I also will answer any questions as to certain videos from the subscriber reaction video. So yeah, we're just going to yap today. You're going to get to know me a little bit. I've never really fully introduced myself on this channel, so better late than never. We got a nice little group going here, so I think it is about time that I introduce myself, answer questions, give y'all a little bit of information about me. So I broke these questions up into a couple like broad categories just so we can kind of group things together and it's not just like all over the place. Yeah, that's pretty much what this video is going to be. So make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, so I'm saving more time and get right on into the video. Okay, so our first section is kind of the about me section. So basic knowledge about me that I've never actually said on this channel. Obviously, I won't be giving a ton away because internet safety, still important, kids. But this is kind of just more of like the introduction section. So my name is Hannah. I'm actually about to turn 24, which is crazy. That makes me feel old. I don't know why. I know 24 is not old, but still a little weird. Still getting used to the idea of being 24. Obviously, I have this channel. I started this channel on a whim. I always loved years ago watching reaction videos. I was like, I watch all these videos on my own time anyways, why not I just start my own channel? So that's kind of how we got here. I was just posting kind of here and there for a little bit, and then I started posting more consistently, and now we are at over 1,000 subscribers, which is still crazy, still blows my mind. But I also have interests outside of K-pop, obviously. The biggest one being dance, which I will get into a whole spiel on that. There's a whole category. But if you don't know, I am a dancer. So that is like my biggest interest, probably even more so than K-pop. Why I got into K-pop is because of the dance and performance aspect of it. So that's where those kind of tie in together. I also, if you can't tell by these up here, am a Formula 1 girly. I'm a big fan. I watched the races. I went to Coda last year and I want to go to more races. I don't know. It's something that like doesn't match in with kind of my other interests, but here we are. I got into it because of the kind of family relations of it all. If you're curious about that, my favorite team overall, I'd probably say is McLaren, and Lando is my favorite driver. So I was very happy last year when he won the championship, although that was a stressful year. I also do have a Charles hat back here. I know I've kind of referenced it a couple times, but if you don't know, how tall do you think I am? Do you think I'm tall? Do you think I'm short? Do you think I'm average? I'm really curious about that. It's really hard to tell on a camera. That's pretty much all I'm going to share for just like the broad general facts. We're going to jump into the next section, which I believe is going to be all of the dance related questions. So let's jump on into that. Okay, so there was a lot of questions pertaining to dance. I'm just going to kind of run through them. Hopefully I don't, too terribly much here because I can get on tangents, but we'll see how that goes. So the first question was, what are you currently studying? Now, I'm not in school. I graduated college over 2 years ago at this point. I have my degree back here. I have a BFA, so Bachelor's of Fine Arts in dance from a performing arts college in LA. That was a crazy experience. That's kind of what I studied. It was a very intensive program, and I'll get into it a little bit more with the next question, but not currently studying, but I do have a degree in dance. And then the high school I went to had kind of like the high school equivalent of like majors and everything. And for that, I was visual and performing arts. I took theater all 4 years. And then I graduated with like essentially like a double major type thing. And then I was also in STEAM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics for math. That's the education part of everything. The next question is, do you have a memory you want to share from your BFA days? My BFA days were crazy. So I went to AMDA, a performing arts school in LA, obviously, as I briefly mentioned. I was really involved. My last couple years, I was in extra productions, extra classes. That school is a very intense school to go to. It's different from a lot of other schools where you kind of take a broad spectrum of classes your first 2 years, then you get into like the really intensive major focused stuff the last few years. You only take like 2, maybe 3 gen ed classes a semester, and then you're taking like 7 or 8 classes for your major. So I would be dancing constantly. My last semester of school, I didn't have a day I wasn't dancing at least 4 hours a day for the entire semester. Well, I was in class or rehearsal from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. all week, and then we would have 8-hour rehearsal days, Saturday and Sunday, and then when it got closer to show, we were doing all the tech stuff. We would have 12-hour tech days, and it was crazy. It was a lot. I have so many good memories. I made so many great lifelong friends there that I still talk to this day. The best memories are honestly from when we would be in those late night rehearsals, exhausted and almost delirious, goofing around, joking around. Yes, I love the experiences of getting to work with all these people in the industry that are professionals in the industry and everything, and those moments that I got to be on stage were crazy, and I got to be a part of shows I never thought I would get to be a part of. So I was really appreciative of all the different aspects of the school. I have a lot of great memories there. The next question, when did I start dancing? And there's also a little star. As of now, are you enjoying Boy Next Door? Yes, I am enjoying Boy Next Door quite a bit. When I started dancing when I was in 3rd grade. I started with hip hop. I did 2 years of just like recreational dance, and then in 5th grade I joined the competitive team, still only hip hop, and then did that up until 7th grade. In 7th grade I started adding in contemporary and was still doing hip hop and doing hip hop competitively. And then in 8th grade I joined the technical team at my studio, so I was on both the hip hop team and the technical team at that point. Hip hop, jazz, ballet, contemporary. I started doing point, all the different kinds of things, and I did that all the way up through high school. I practically lived at the dance studio when I wasn't in just like school. So yeah, it's been a while. It's been probably close to 15 years, I think. Quite a bit of time. That also answers the next question, which is how long have you been a dancer and what dance styles? I've been dancing around 15 years. I think grew up doing mostly hip hop, and then I, as I mentioned, added in all the things. And then when I also got to college, I started to be able to do a couple more styles with more teachers and everything. So hip hop, jazz, street jazz, commercial jazz, all the different kinds of jazz. Ballet, contemporary, modern. I've done point. I did a little bit of Latin. I've done musical theater. I did a little bit of tap. I got to learn a little bit of African too as well. I've dabbled in quite a bit, but as far as like the core styles, I would say probably hip hop, the different kinds of jazz, contemporary, ballet, the core of my training, and then I've also done a little bit of everything. Oh, heels. I've also done heels. The next question is, when watching a live stage, do you prefer sharp and precise dancing but not live singing, or live singing but less focus on the dancing? So I have a lot of opinions on dance. Some I will never voice on this channel because I just know it's going to start a crazy conversation as far as dance and K-pop goes. But for this one, I will talk about it a little bit. I'm someone who, I want them to just commit to something. If you're going to lip sync, then your dancing needs to be high energy. It needs to be full out choreography. You need to be performing very well, facials, the technical aspects, textures, all of those things if you're choosing to lip sync. If you are singing live, that it's fine to dial back on the dancing because it's just a generally hard thing to do. So having to pull back a little bit on the dancing when you're doing that is fine with me, as long as you are putting in the effort to sing live and you're still doing at least some energy and aspects into the dancing as well. Commit to whatever you're doing is my thing. I understand how intensive things can be, so I'm not someone who's like, groups always have to sing live. I do think it is crazy when groups always sing live, but I understand that there are certain instances where they need to lip sync or use loud backing tracks. My thing is, it shouldn't be all that you do. It shouldn't be a majority of your performances. As long as you're at like a 60% live, 40% lip sync or backtrack, I'm fine with that. But if you are lip syncing, you can't also not do the dance to the full capability So that's kind of my thing there. I'm not super picky with it. So that is all of the dance related questions. We're going to move on to the next category, which is the just general K-pop category. We're going to start with the general K-pop and then we'll go into channel specific. First question was how I got into K-pop. I briefly mentioned it in the other part of the 1K special because I watched the first video that got me into K-pop. I got into it because I saw Mic Drop by BTS for the first time and I loved the high energy choreography, the big performance, the kind of big effort and focus on everything to do with performance quality in K-pop. It was something I fell in love with as a dancer and a performer. It started as a dance and performance thing, but I still very much appreciate the other aspects of it. Our next question is, do you have a favorite group or a favorite song? So I kind of have like in my head tiers for my favorite groups. So in the kind of top tiers, like the groups that I've like been following long term, that regardless of how much content I consume, they will always kind of have a little special place in my heart, and that would be BTS and Stray Kids, I would say. The next tier is like groups I'm really into that I follow pretty extensively. So you've got like ATEEZ, &TEAM, ZB1, TXT, and Hypen, 17. I know I've never talked about 17 on this channel, but I do like 17 quite a bit. There's like that kind of tier. And then there's groups that I like either was really into at one point and I'm not really into now, or groups that I just like casually listen to songs. So I was into Treasure at one point, so I like their like older stuff. I haven't really heard any of their new stuff. I also listened to Gravity at the very beginning right after they debuted. NCT I was really into at one point. The Boys I kept up with for quite a bit. There's kind of different tiers there. For favorite songs, it is really, really hard for me to pick favorite songs. I do, though, tend to pick favorite songs that are a little bit more emotionally based than like the really like hype songs. I listen to the really hype songs the most, but as far as favorite songs go, I tend to gravitate towards picking ones that are a little more serious and meaningful in a way. My favorite AT song I'd probably say is Turbulence. I love that song so much. I like can't even, it's really hard for me to pick favorite songs, especially for groups specifically. I would say my favorite Stray Kids song is probably Voices is the most consistent, although my favorite songs change a lot. Ironically, I really love Film Out. I love Wildflower by RM. I think that song is just, oh, so beautiful. This is a little bit of like a different vibe. Kong Daniel, Paranoia. Love that song. It is so good. It could be a different song on any given day, but those are kind of some of my favorites. What do your biases all have in common? Now, I saw this question, I was like, I don't think there really is anything. Like, a lot of people joke about that, they're like, oh, I definitely have like a type. And I have friends that are like that 100%. And I was like, I don't really think I do. And then I kind of was going through and I was like, okay, yeah, maybe I do. Tend to gravitate towards dancers. I think that's just not in my control. That's kind of the biggest overarching connection, is most of them have a dance position of some kind. I also put a lot of heads together and I was like, ooh, maybe there is something in common here. The next question is, who was your first bias in kickflip and did it change now? I take so long to pick biases, so I don't necessarily have a bias in kickflip yet. Going into it, I thought probably it was going to end up being like Kyegun or Minjae, just because those are the ones I knew of going into the kickflip deep dive, but genuinely I don't know yet with them. I also need to watch a little bit more of their variety content because that pulls also a big weight in my biases. When the day comes, I will let you know. Moving on to channel related questions. The first question was submitted quite a bit, is also asked quite a bit in my comments, and I mentioned that I'll talk about it briefly in the other part of the 1K subscriber special. Would you be open to reacting to Next someday? And then it had some recommendations on what I should watch. I am very open to it. I just finished my kickflip deep dive, so I'm kind of scoping out who I want my next group to be that I kind of do like an introduction into. Not necessarily a guarantee that I'm going to continue to reacting to them, but I'm poking around, seeing how things feel, and they're definitely on that list. So I probably will be reacting to at least one music video at some point soon. That will be part of my decision on if they're a group I want to do a kind of deep dive into. I acknowledge all of the comments. They are on my radar. When I listen to any K-pop girl groups, they said that they think I would like NMIXX a lot. And this also was asked by someone else, do you listen to K-pop girl groups? And if not, what group would you be interested in listening to and reacting to? Now, for girl groups, I would say I'm more like a casual listener. I dabble. There's some songs I like by girl groups, but I've just never really been like interested in like really like getting into K-pop girl groups the same way I am for boy groups. And that's not like because of like anything specific. I don't know, I've never gravitated towards that. I enjoy a song here and there. But yeah, as of right now, I would say no. But who knows what the future holds. So we'll have to wait and see. And fun fact, I find it funny that they recommended NMIXX because one of my former classmates actually is in an NMIXX video. So that's actually really funny. Then the next question, which I believe this actually is our last question. Do you have any plans for Patreon at the moment? So if you don't know, I did recently start a Patreon for this channel. It only has one video up on it. It is one of the kickflip deep dive parts because it got partially blocked. I do want to do something with Patreon. I think I want it to be more focused on the variety content or the longer form content. I'm still kind of toying with that idea. I also don't know if that's something that you guys would be interested in having. I'd be open to any suggestions in that realm of things. So I believe that is all of the questions for this Q&A. I hopefully answered everything in a way that makes sense. If you have any more questions, you could drop them down in the comment section below. I'll probably try to reply to at least a few if I can. If not, I will probably be making another follow-up video in the future, maybe for the next milestone we hit, whichever milestone that's going to be. I still need to decide that. I really do appreciate everyone that supports this channel, so I figured that this would be a great way for me to kind of introduce myself, get a little bit more of a personal feel connection with everyone that's subscribed to my channel, because I really couldn't do this without you guys, so I really do appreciate that. That is going to be it for this video. If you want to check out any of my reactions, I react to a bunch of groups on this channel. They each have their own playlist on the playlist tab. Also a bunch of dance reactions. If you want more of like a technical breakdown on things, I can link that playlist up here for you. And then I also have a playlist called Reactions to Come, which will be full of everything that I'm confirmed to be reacting to that has been released. Not very full right now because we are waiting on a lot of comebacks to drop, but when things drop, they will be in that playlist if I'm filming a video for it. But if you don't see something in that playlist that you'd want me to watch, drop it down in the comment section below or reply to my post and let me know. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications. As I mentioned, lots of comebacks coming up, so lots of videos coming up as well. If you want to go follow me on any social medias, I'll put them both down here. That was linked in the description of this video, as well as on my channel page. If you want to go follow me over there, I would love to have you. Again, thank you so very much for supporting my channel. I really do appreciate it. I will see you guys in the next one.